Hey everyone, it's Schmorbury here. Now this is going to be a long one, so just be prepared for that. This analysis will be as spoiler-free as possible, but the subject matter, particularly of the book, may be distressing, with themes mentioned in this video being transgender identity, transphobia, violence, and drug abuse. The novel itself goes beyond this, so if you do decide to read it, please do so knowing that it isn't a light read. It's dark and, quite severely so. Time to Dance is a Panic at the Disco song based a song based on Chuck Palahniuk's, I don't know how to say his name, Chuck Palahniuk's novel titled Invisible Monsters. It is also the first song Panic at the Disco created and the sixth song on Panic at the Disco's first studio album, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. The song Time to Dance follows the story of Invisible Monsters. In this video I will discuss the novel Invisible Monsters and align its parallel to the song Time to Dance, before in the end giving my thoughts on the song and the novel. The novel Invisible Monsters follows the story of three models and one other notable character. Firstly, an unnamed veiled narrator, who was injured horrifically, being shot in the face with a shotgun while driving. Subsequently, her lower jaw is missing entirely, and it is mentioned multiple times that the jaw could not be reattached as it was eaten by birds. The narrator's true name remains unknown until the final chapter. However, she is referred to as Daisy St. Patience, a name given to her by the most important character in the novel, Brandy Alexander, the transgender woman who Daisy St. Patience meets while in the hospital with her jaw injury. The third model is Evie, the best friend of Daisy St. Patience, and the final character is Seth, also known as Manus, Daisy St. Patience's ex-fiancé. The book sees Daisy St. Patience, Brandy, Alexander, and Seth touring the northwest United States and posing as members of the bourgeoisie in order to gain entry to large, stately homes that were for sale but still lived in, and steal medication, mainly pain killers and estrogen, which Brandy Alexander takes, but Brandy and Daisy St. Patience are also slipping estrogen to Seth. The painkillers they take themselves and sell. From here on out, I will be referring to Daisy St. Patience as Daisy, because it is quite a mouthful. Now, the beginning and ending of this novel are the same scene, a wedding, in Evie the bride's luxurious stately home, in which she does indeed own. Daisy burns down this home, additionally majorly damaging the hair and clothing of Evie as the home is burning with a shotgun. Evie, with a shotgun, comes down the burning house and shoots Brandy Alexander, who is waiting in the lobby. Now, it's difficult to explain the brilliance of this scene without spoiling all the twists, and simply to avoid ruining the book, as the twists are so fantastic and thread themselves unsuspectingly throughout the entire novel. Now, Invisible Monsters has some questionable statements on transgender individuals. The book does not make these statements, the characters do. Transphobic people in the book are portrayed negatively, but transgender people in the book, specifically Brandy Alexander, may give way to a potentially harmful way of looking at transgender people. I do not believe Chuck Palahniuk, I'm just going to call him Chuck, intended to make a transphobic book, and I don't believe that he has, but don't make this book your first contact with the concept of being transgender, because it's not the best portrayal of a transgender person, and without giving too much away, that is because the key theme of this novel is self-sabotage, and you can infer for yourself what that means, about Brandy Alexander specifically. Now that you do understand the background of the book, I will now assess some lines and tell you how they relate to the novel. The opening of the song reads, "Well, she's not bleeding on the ballroom floor just for the attention, because that's just ridiculously odd." This is in reference to Brandy Alexander bleeding on the ballroom floor during the wedding, after being shot by Evie. Just for the attention is actually referencing our narrator, Daisy, who does a great deal of things in the novel for attention, firstly becoming a model to impress her parents, who she feels ignored by because of her brother, who was deformed and later died due to an STD. Daisy St. Patience deliberately wants the eyes on her, but people ignore her or think less of her due to her appearance post-shotgun incident. The song continues, she sure is gonna get it. Here's the setting. Fashion magazines line the walls now, the walls line the bullet holes. This setting is supposed to conjure Evie's home, the fashion magazines on the walls likely being memorabilia from her modelling career, and the bullet holes being from her shooting of Brandy Alexander. The chorus states, "Have some composure, and where is your posture? Oh no, no, you're pulling the trigger, all wrong." This is a statement about A, Brandy, who may want to change her postures to help her better transition and support her back, as it is mentioned she has torpedo breasts as a result of top surgery repeatedly throughout the novel. B. Evie, who is less than composed on her wedding day, having shot Brandy and being in a state due to the fire. And finally C, it could be about Daisy's same patients, and additionally Evie again. As models, they may be asked to watch their composure and posture during photo shoots and, well, generally just to look good being models. Pulling the trigger all wrong is likely to a reference to how Brandy Alexander was shot instead of Daisy, who was the intended target for the shotgun shell after burning down the house. The post-chorus reads, "Give me envy, give me malice, give me your attention. Give me envy, give me malice, baby, give me a break. When I say shotgun, you say wedding, shotgun wedding, shotgun wedding." This is interesting, as it continues as a continuing joke or scene setter in the novel as the narrator's internal photographer, who, for example, in a sad scene would call out, "Give me sadness, flash," mimicking the flash of a camera. In the song, the photographer asks for envy, malice, attention, and a break, themes of the novel from Daisy St. Patience's perspective. You won't note the formerly mentioned desire for attention is also mentioned with the photographer in the song. Well, internal photographer in the song, whatever, there isn't an actual one. The shotgun wedding is a reference to how Evie shoots Brandy with a shotgun at her wedding. It may also be a note that a shotgun wedding is where a young couple are forced to marry, either at the literal, figurative gunpoint, normally due to a boy getting a girl pregnant before they are married. And there are lots of references to shotgun weddings in media, and you've probably seen them before. The next verse reads, "She didn't choose this role, but she'll play it and make it sincere, so you cry, give me a break." This is talking about how Daisy, Brandy, and Evie each did not ask to be put into the roles they're in during the shotgun sequence, but each of them still play their roles for the attention, being the victim, the potential murderer, and the scared witness. The "give me a break" line is there because it's likely none of them actually feel the way they do, besides maybe Brandy, because they all simply desire the attention. The verse continues, "But they believe it from the tears and the teeth, right down to the blood at her feet. Boys will be boys, hiding in estrogen and wearing aubergine dreams. Give me a break." This speaks about how those in attendance believe the ruse, although those in the novel are just as vain, dashing outside to be the first ones to call and greet the emergency services, but taking the wedding presents on their way. The teeth right down to the blood at her feet is likely an observation of Daisy St. Patience, who is standing in the pool of Brandy's blood after her, accident, had a few of her teeth in the top left jaw, in her top jaw left, mainly molars. So after her shotgun accident, a few of her top teeth, notably the molars, which are referenced a few times in the book, are still there. So from the teeth, her molars that remain, to the blood at her feet, which is Brandy's. Boys will be boys, hiding in estrogen and wearing aubergine dreams references Brandy, who wears purple eyeliner and eyeshadow, in the shade of which is called aubergine dreams. The "boys will be boys hiding in estrogen" line could be a couple of things, potentially transphobic rhetoric coming from the nun, who I haven't mentioned but is in the book, semi-prominently, who is working at a hospital where Brandy and Daisy are, and tries her best to keep Daisy away from Brandy because she is transphobic. But it might also be to say that despite the estrogen and the makeup, Brandy still scams people as well as any man, being that she pretends to be a member of the bourgeoisie, gets into rich houses on a house tour while people are still living there, and steals their drugs. Of course, this could also be Brendan Urie or Ryan Ross being transphobic. They're the songwriters, but I think this is highly unlikely as the song has been performed very recently by Brendan Urie, who is pansexual, so likely knows about trans people, and neither Ross or Urie have been known to hold any transphobic sentiment. The lines previously repeat in different orders throughout the song, post this. But there is a bridge I haven't addressed yet that I will now assess. The bridge reads, "Come on, this is screaming photo op. Come on, this is screaming. This is screaming photo op. Boys will be boys, baby. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys, baby. Boys will be boys." Before fading back into some previously mentioned lines repeating again. This is screaming photo op, another reference to modelling, op being short for opportunity, so a photo opportunity. This is screaming fading to this is screaming photo op, perhaps alludes to the need to escape, mentioned throughout the novel, and the need to be anyone but me. These are key themes, and it sort of blends the themes of escapism and, you know, the idea of modelling and the vanity with that together really nicely. Boys Will Be Boys. I've already spoken about this song and the chorus again. It plays the chorus again, and then the song ends after that. The book and the song are masterful, and easily both in my list of favourite books and favourite songs. The novel is very dark, but if you're in a sound position, I do implore you to read it. But don't make yourself uncomfortable. The novel can be, especially for transgender people, and I recommend looking up potential warnings in the book, because there's a lot of content that is upsetting, and I'm talking stuff I haven't even begun to cover in this video. It's a dark novel, and I feel it can be really upsetting for a lot of people, but it is brilliant. And if you can stomach it, I do implore you to go out and read it. And it's pretty incredible, and it's really short too. It's quite short. I think it's only 10 chapters total, but some books split up the chapters more to expand it to like 31. I think the one I read is the copy. The song Time to Dance is absolutely gorgeous, and I love it little to bits. You should all go and read it. Well, read the novel and listen to the song. If you really want, you could go and listen to the alternate versions of the song as well. There's 2 different demos out there, which are both impeccable, being the first Panic songs, you know. There's likely to be demos around. There's also a live version in Denver. If you saw my last video, which might have been that, or maybe it was the one before that, I did live in Denver. I love that. You should go and listen to the version of it there. There was also a live in Chicago version, which you can go and listen to. But the song is brilliant, and no matter what version you listen to, you know, if you do listen to one, I hope you like it. It's good. Please read the book. It's wonderful. And that's really all I have to say about it. You know, thank you all for watching. It's been a bit of a longer video, but I want to transition to doing these more, you know, 10 to 15, maybe 20 at a push minute videos, more, instead of doing really disjointed content, just taking a little more time. And presently, how I'm writing scripts and stuff is not very professional at all, but you know, practice makes perfect, you know, and these last videos, especially Denver, is really amateur, but the more you do it, the better you get. And, you know, when I actually have the proper equipment, i.e. an actual working PC, I might be able to actually do a bit high quality in the actual videos themselves, and hopefully that will just bring altogether everything up and greater. But yeah, so that was Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk and Time to Dance by Panic at the Disco. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.